yoga for regular guys. The word guys is a unisex word to me. And in this inspirational section, you've seen Lee, you've seen Ted, you've seen Smokey. Well, this is the guy, Terri Lang, who really started it all. But she was to the embryonic stages of YRG.
It happened a long time ago, 5 years ago. I remember it like it
What
was
year?
Yesterday. January 2001.
Okay.
You came into the office for your weekly massage. You've
Right.
been away for a while.
Yeah, I was on the road.
So. Anyway, you came in, and we usually start with, hi, how you doing, what's new, what's going on? And I was quiet, down, sad, and you noticed that and asked why, what's going on. And I was telling you about how I was going to be 50 in a few months, and all of a sudden it just all poured out. How I felt old and fat, unhappy.
And what was my initial response to that?
Well, initially, you kind of hurt my feelings, as usual, when you're tactful or not so tactful, brutal, honesty way. You listen to me kind of get it all out. You're a good listener. And then you raised up, I remember raising up off the table and looked right at me and said, that is such bullshit. And I'm just like stunned that you would say that to me.
But how was I saying it, though?
I said, you're a great person. You have a family that adores you. You should be happy.
And that's an important key point here, because if you're happy with yourself, then this isn't about losing weight and getting in shape or whatever. If you're really, really happy with yourself, fine. But if you're going to constantly complain about it, where it's got you to the point that you've actually got this tape, this DVD, or someone got it for you, there's a reason. So at that point, where did I go then?
Right. Well, when you were saying, then you're a happy, good person, be happy. But when you said, or are you just too damn lazy to lose the weight? That's what made me mad. Then it was a personal challenge to me, like it was, you put the ball in my court, and I wanted it in everybody else's court. I was very good at blaming, being old, hormones, life's rough, your mom, and you're like, oh no, sister, it's up to you. You got the power, use it, don't use it, but stop whining about it, because I found out over time how you detest whiners. You like to fix it. If you got a problem, you want it fixed.
Or stop complaining about it and move on. So I came up with this story. I'm going to share it with you here on tape, and I made this up as I went along, because Terri was on such a rant at one point about being 50, and finally she took a breath, and I was like, are you finished? And at that point, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to complain. And I want you to close your eyes and massage me and just really get that out of your mind. So she's like, okay. And she's massaging me, and I go, okay, so it's not going to be your 50th birthday. It's going to be your 60th. Oh, my God! I can't believe you want me to be 60. I can't help to turn 50. I mean, she went on. And finally, I said, no, okay, listen, I don't want you to be anything. I just want you to be quiet and believe it's real. You got that part down.
I got that part. Yeah. I believed I was 60.
Yeah, you were devastated. And I said, okay, it's not going to be your 50th. It's not going to be your 60th. It's going to be your 70th. And I remember the air just coming out of you. I was like, you okay? You're like, yeah, I'm all right. And okay, it's not going to be your 50th. It's not going to be your 60th. It's going to be your 70th. It's going to be your 80th. And then before you could react, I clicked off 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 85 years old. You've been fortunate enough to live to be 85 years old. Now, what I didn't tell you in the beginning of this is Terri's been married to the same guy since she was 20 years old. And at this time when I knew her and I knew her husband, they were in love. I mean, she was a big girl. But he didn't care. He loved her for who she was. Better or worse, they'd been married 30 years at that time. And I said, you and Warren are still together. But you just celebrated your 65th wedding anniversary and you're still in love. And I said, you've not only gotten to see your son Jared grow up, but you got to see your grandkids grow up, and now you're watching your great-grandkids grow up. And I said, so Terri, let me ask you a question. What would you do? What would you give up to go back in time 35 years and be 6 months from 50 again? And I said, open up your eyes, you got your wish.
You know what you said there? You said, bam. I mean, it was, I was there and you brought me back, and it was like, I am going to be 50, and I was so damn grateful to be 50. Right. And that was profound. That impacted my life, that moment, more than anything ever.
And what Terri did was she sat down, she set goals for herself that she was, I believe, 198 pounds at the time, and was going to be 134. She put that number down, 134 pounds on her 50th birthday. And you achieve that because, like I talked about with Smokey, writing stuff down and setting those goals. And she wasn't even doing YRG. She was doing yoga. She was doing walking on a treadmill. As she called it, the terrible treadmill. I said, why don't you change its name? To my buddy, the treadmill. But long story short of it, over those next 5 years, I would start to have her add things to her workout. The isometrics in her yoga workout, and the isokinetics, this slow moving of muscles, which would raise her heart rate up. And then she sort of became like my guinea pig, besides me, of what was possible, you know, with YRG and how it strengthens your entire body. And the only example that I'll use here is one with your shoulder. When what did the
serious issue with my right rotator cuff, and they're thinking it was possibly career ending.
And today, Terri is doing side angle plank pose, which, and this is like one of the hardest positions that you can do. So now your body is, you know, I mean, you're
strong. It's so good. But what was so special is it took a whole year to do it, because you said take it slow and easy, and that's why YRG works so well. Is you can do it at your own capabilities. Whatever you are that day is how you do it. And I was so weak when I started my PT, I couldn't lift a 1 pound can of weights with my right arm, shoulder. That's how bad my shoulder was. Till now I can do full plank. I can do the wheel, the back bend. I can do all this and those silly, obnoxious push-ups. I could not do one push-up. It took all year, but it's okay, and that's what you said to me. If it takes all year, it will, and it did. And look how strong I am. And working again with my big guys, called back some of my big guys that I'd sent away because my shoulder's strong.
So this really comes down to this whole section of different inspirational people, and you'll notice that everybody is really between 50 and 71, and it really comes down to, like I said with Smokey earlier in this DVD, it's that if Terri can do it, and you saw where she started and where she is today, can do it, so can you. No excuses. You say?
Exactly. I'm a regular guy.
She's a regular guy.